Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the July 18, 2024 meeting of the Allegheny County Board of Cooperative Assessment Appeals and Review. To begin our morning, will we please have roll call?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Lozano.
Mr. Bargerstein?
Here.
Mr. Snipe?
Here.
Mr. Sully?
Here.
Ms. Lara? Here. Ms. Montgomery is absent, but I'm here, we have a quorum.
Thank you. And I have a motion, please, for the approval of the regular meeting minutes for July 2nd, 2024, please.
So moved. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we are so moved. Thank you. Members of the public, who do we have today?
We have in front of us today, Ms. Murati. She is on my court administrator report. She's item 7B. Ms. Murati reached out to BPAAR because she received a notice of disposition for another property that she owns. She intended to file 2024 for her primary residence, which is parcel ID 448E22. However, she mistakenly filed the appeal for another property that she owns, and that was 534A as an apple 383. And she's here today. She only became aware of the issue when she received the notice of disposition. She really thought that she was having an appeal for her primary resident, and she mistakenly, her email to us is also attached to my report as supporting evidence, but she's here today to request to file the appeal for 2024 on the parcel in which she intended to file.
Okay, thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Honest with you, I was shocked.
I'm sorry. Two things. I'm hard of hearing and the mic is over there. So between the two, I need you to speak up, and if you could please stand up and move over towards the mic over there.
The mic over there.
Oh, right there. Okay.
I was shocked that I made such a stupid mistake. I don't know how human mind works, that I really didn't know that I was talking during the interview, and somehow probably it was my mistake that I gave that address on my appeal.
This was your first attempt at making an appeal?
Yes.
And anything else you wish to add to that?
Here in the house, if you could see the picture, it's really not worth it, and it has lots of expense. It's wet all around, it takes like $20,000 insulating, and the house is filled with water.
I'm sorry. Let me interrupt. I'm sorry. We can't get into actual details of the appeal, but with regard to making the appeal is what I'm asking if you had anything else you wanted to add. Any questions from the board?
You received a disposition, but you didn't attend the hearing? Is that correct?
Yes, I.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did by phone, and I was talking to whose name was Miss Hobart. I talked to her, and somehow I didn't notice that I had put the address of that rental property.
So that wasn't discussed in the hearing? Is that correct?
Yes, I was addressing the specification of my residence.
Okay.
That was, I'm surprised that when I got notification from the other one. It was all my mistakes and confusion somehow. I take blame personally for that, and the problem was how I was thinking,
Thank you. Any answers, Mr. Sully?
No.
Just out of curiosity, the disposition you got on the rental property, which you intended to be your primary property,
Yes.
what was the disposition? Because you would have had to give evidence.
What kind of
What was the
evidence?
outcome?
I was explaining that it's been over-assessed and I am paying too much for tax for that.
What he's asking is what result came from the hearing?
I believe
Oh,
it's the
nothing.
same.
Do you have the
Actually, I was
disposition?
expecting,
Do you have the disposition?
We have
Show
the
it to him.
disposition?
she has a version.
Yeah, just show it though. It's a lot easier.
Just curious.
Sustained?
So if the board would entertain this, it would be a motion to rescind and withdraw the appeal for property 534A as an apple 383 and conform the 2024 appeal with intent to file 448B as an elephant 22.
I would move that because of her intention to file for her personal property, correct?
Yes.
That we rescind the mistake
And withdraw.
and withdraw and give her the opportunity on her property.
I'll second.
I sincerely apologize all of you for causing this.
No problem. Thank you for taking time to come down and speak with us.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. And we will get the shades back.
They'll reschedule. They will reschedule for your property. Okay, they'll reschedule a hearing.
Reschedule a hearing or?
They'll reschedule a hearing.
Thank you so very much. I
Goodbye.
sincerely appreciate all of you. Have a great day.
Thank
you. Bye-bye.
Next from the public.
Sharon DiPaolo here. I have a couple of issues to raise.
Hold on, Sharon. Can't hear you.
What?
Okay. I can't hear you either.
No,
You're back in the country.
we're going to try to. Okay.
There we go. The volume was down.
How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Thank you. I have a few issues. They may be, I don't see them on the agenda, so I want to make sure that we address them today. The first is, I'm going to call it the Kentucky Fried Chicken and its drive-through. The parcels are 1077J295, which is the KFC, and 1077J291. We've written, and this is all laid out in a letter, request is to resend and reissue. The decisions that we got didn't comply with the evidence. It looks like a mechanical issue where the drive-through got the same value as the KFC. The upshot is that we filed for a reduction. We had an appraisal. We had no evidence submitted in rebuttal, and we ended out with an increase. And if you look at how it's laid out, it looks like it was just some of the parcels got switched.
Mr. Paulo, I believe that I've seen your email requests, and we need to pull the file and have board members review that before we can take that action. Okay?
Okay. I'm a little worried because this one keeps getting scheduled and I keep asking to have it postponed because it keeps getting scheduled for 2024, which we had to file. We've made multiple requests, so that's my concern.
Right, I can't ask the board to take action on something they haven't seen though, Sharon, so we'll put it on the agenda for next month, for next meeting.
Next meeting, okay. The next one is Noble Care Associates. Again, I don't see it on the parcel. We wrote on this May 23rd, 2024. That was not the first time we wrote. We have a missing parcel that I believe that this may be going to be addressed, but I don't see it on the agenda today. And it's a 2-parcel property, 2 years, 2023, 2022. And we've been waiting for this one missing disposition. And again, postponing the 2024 protective appeal that we had to file. So I'd like that to be issued, but it needs to be issued in the context of looking at, the entire case in both years, so it's conformed.
Mr. Paulo, what's the parcel number?
39-L-175. It's called Noble Care.
It's on the disposition list for today, Sharon.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And last question is, do you have a sense yet what what week or weeks you may be looking at in August for any hearings, cleanup hearings, rescheduled hearings, just because I've got a lot of people going on vacation, just curious.
Lori, can you speak to that? Or actually, I
Yes.
can look at my email here because I have a list.
Actually, we're looking at, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we're looking at scheduling beginning the week of August 12th. I
Okay.
can't say when it'll end. It just depends on how many we still have left and how
Sure.
many postponements and things like that are still coming in. But we're going to start again August 12th.
Thank you. That is very helpful.
Okay.
And then I just want to share with the group, since you're all here and you know that I come to your meetings or I watch you on YouTube, and as a frequent participant in your system, I know when you hear from me on the few things that go amiss, but I just want to acknowledge the volume of work that this group, OPA and the BPAAR, has done this year, issuing 2 sets of decisions in the first quarter for 2 years, getting through the hearings and dispositions in record time, and now faced with the 2025 appeals for the first time. Kudos for everything you guys have taken on. And I apologize that you only get to hear from me when something's going wrong, but we do see things going right every day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have someone in the lobby. I don't know if anyone can see that.
It's Brown and Howard, Mary Beth.
It's running really slow.
There we go.
Let him.
Let 'em in. Okay. It all. Systems.
All right, you good? Let's see.
Of course, the reporter missed Sharon's nice comments.
Yes.
Oh,
I can repeat that.
that's gonna repeat it.
She said she would.
Okay. Anything further? Anyone else with public comment? Very good, moving on. Solicitors report.
The solicitor has no written report. I need no official board action today. As Mr. Paulo said, I have been working with a bunch of different councils to try to clean up some issues that have been going on or outstanding issues. I would just like this board to realize that as of today, you will have disposed of almost 60% of your 2024 appeals.
Yay.
And disposed of means they're full dispositions, they're out. You're at about 20% still outstanding with 10% left, less than 10% left to be scheduled. So, I mean, great job. That's what I said, I piggyback off Mr. Paulo. So that's it, that's all. Like we're trying to get through some of the stickier issues, multi-parcels, things like that, whole economic units, trying to figure out ways to make the process better.
Thank you. Hope that didn't steal the thunder from our next speaker. Appeals Department report, Ms. Brown.
Okay, good morning again. You should have, and I believe you did receive the report from the Appeals Department for tax years 2020 through and including 2024. We are continuing to schedule hearings, as stated with Ms. DiPaolo. Right now, we are scheduled through July 31st. I did provide Ms. Baldwin with an updated hearing schedule, and I do apologize because I thought I had sent that to you. And we will begin again scheduling hearings the week of August 12th. And those would be, again, any that we have missed because of suspensions or this is their first time being heard. They will be a combination of residential and commercial. So the schedule may fluctuate with the types of hearing officers that need to be available. And we will schedule them until we have no more to schedule.
Excellent. Is there a reason why we're stopping between the end of July and the 12th of August?
Because of the timing of everything and because of giving everyone the ample notice needed, we needed that amount of time just to make sure we're covered and not to have administrative postponements because of timelines.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
No, that's all I have.
Thank you again. Moving on. OPA, Ms. Brooks.
Everyone, I have today to bring up.
More volume.
I'm sorry.
Can you raise your volume up a little bit more?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I have nothing today.
Yeah, that was worth it.
I do for Ms. Brooks.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, Ms. Brooks, as we know, it's an election year. November will be busy. Historically, the OPA Appeals Division has pulled people to go to elections. And as you are aware, Ms. Brooks, there's going to be hearings in October. And I'm just going to ask you to have the foresight, and maybe you can report back to us, but we would appreciate it if you didn't pull anybody from the Appeals Division in October.
Well,
Because
that,
of
Mike,
the
is
new-
out of my control. I can bring the request up to upper management, but that
Okay.
is out of my control.
Is the board in agreement with me that we should have OPA Appeals Division personnel in October because of the new appeals schedule? Anybody?
It would only be one day
Something we should discuss as a
as of
board.
right now.
Excuse me?
It's just election
An
day.
executive session.
They pull them for election day. They answer the phone. It's go to the phone bank on election day. That's it.
So Mike, I can put in a request to upper management. That is out of my control. As of right now, I mean, it all depends on how the election works out, but should only be for that day.
Okay, fine, thank you.
I don't, would we generally schedule appeals on election day?
No,
I wouldn't think we would.
absolutely not.
No. I'm just saying historically, I've seen them pull people 2 weeks before the election. 2 to 3 people. So.
That's hard to tell. It depends on everything that goes on.
Okay, thanks,
But
Ms. Brooks.
considering that we're in this new season of 2025, I'm sure we'll make sure we have enough staff that we're not affecting that new appeal season.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you again, Ms. Brooks. Moving on, items for consideration from the board administration. Ms. Baldwin.
I had a couple requests from Ms. Brown with regard to parcels that were administratively postponed, or we could take them in one motion because they're similar. 596F 112 went all the way to 04A. So we're looking, or Ms. Brown would like to have that rescind and reheard because the property owner put in a timely postponement, but it went all the way through the process. So she's looking to rescind and rehear 596F 112. And then 1212J249, it too was administratively postponed. It was heard. So we're just looking to get that rescheduled as well. That's why they're on the report today, because both was heard and one went all the way to disposition.
So that's your request to rehear. If I were to make a motion, would it be to rescind and rehear?
For 596, F112 would be a rescind and rehear.
Both.
And the other one is just a rehear because it's still sitting in those.
Okay, what you just said, I will agree with you, and that will go into the record. So,
All right, hold on 1 second.
Would you like me to state the motion? For clarity. It would be a motion to rescind and rehear parcel 596 F as in Frank 1112, and a motion and to rehear parcel 1212 J as in Jackson 249.
All right, before we move, again, it's not so moved. You can make the motion. Before we do
Right,
that,
did anyone second the motion or not?
no,
Okay.
and I asked the whole, why I asked Ms. Baldwin the question, what caused both of these to slip so far down cracks, and is there anything we can learn from it so it doesn't happen again?
Well, yeah, it's a matter of, I'm not certain when this was heard, so, if it was an actual, paper file, that paper file should have been pulled out of the rotation of being signed off by a board member so that it could be rescheduled and set back to 00 so they could schedule it, so definitely. How we do that going forward without having paper, we would just set it back to 00 so it doesn't move on through the process.
And that was good in those situations?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so we do have a motion, may I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Next, on the ordinance.
7B was covered under public comments. C is the appeal forms, which I've also attached to my report here. You guys received them, circulated them to you all for review, but it looks as if we may all be in consensus that these files are ready to go. There's no updates needed in those documents. So we have the actual appeal form, the 2025 assessment appeal form, and then we have the tip sheet here, which didn't change at all. It's just a matter of changing the year from 2024 to 2025.
I'm sorry, you're referring to the tip sheet?
Yes.
Thank you.
May I make one suggestion for an edit to the tip sheet? My understanding from speaking with OPA is one of the reasons why the evidence is delayed getting into the portal is because people are using option 2, which is the email attachment, instead of just submitting it directly to the portal. We had, OPA and I, in informal discussions, have thrown around the idea of making anyone who's represented by counsel only use the portal rather than emailing it to OPA. From my understanding, when talking to tax and body reps, it takes them an extra like 2 minutes. So a lot of times they'll go the easier route and just email everything over at OPA. But maybe just adding a little bit of language there that people represented by counsel should utilize option 1.
Should or recommend?
Should. I mean, should is,
So if they don't, it's not.
well, we can't require them to do it because we have these other 2 options, but I think that we should maybe even strongly recommend.
My concern is that, A, you treat everyone the same. Okay, period. And if we're gonna change it, let's review it and we'll do it.
Okay, I'm just saying that was a suggestion because we're having this delay. I know, Susan, you and Mike have both heard hearings, and sometimes the evidence doesn't get up on the portal. And that's one of the delays is because the OPA processes the evidence first in, first out. So if you require them, if you require tax and body specifically to use.
So what you're saying is the administrative problem that we've had is because they're not using the portal.
Correct. They're sending it by email instead. The portal is more convenient for us. Just a thought.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the concept of letting people email it is people who have like one, right? Like an owner who wants to send their own. They're not sending 60 or 20.
But you're suggesting the language be changed to taxing authorities.
Or yes, taxing authorities are strongly recommended to utilize the portal.
And you don't think that would be misinterpreted by the public?
Taxing bodies should be required to use the portal? I don't think so. It's just that they have easier access to it.
I think it clarifies things more so than anything else.
I don't know, how would
I
the.
don't know if it clarifies. I just know the more you tell people, the more confused they get.
I know.
That's an assumption.
I mean,
No, it isn't.
or we could actually, the board could always just send a directive to the taxing bodies and say, we strongly recommend you use the portal.
I'm in favor of that.
Because I just don't want to see that, like, if it's an administrative issue, we can kind of solve it.
Over the years, I've had many questions from property owners saying, explain that. Why is this, the more you put in, the more.
No,
You even said that.
I agree. I just wanted to throw it out because I was looking at it and I know.
So a letter from the gentleman just.
We could just do that to all the tax.
So what's to prevent them from using it now that they have it? So you can say this, but what's to prevent them from just whomever's aiding or assisting the attorney or whomever, they just go and send it anyway to.
Well, the ones I've talked to, I've said don't do it, and they've stopped. Just because they didn't realize that it was an administrative issue. And they're like, oh, well, it takes me an extra 2 minutes, I can just do it here. And it also affects them, because then their evidence also might not get processed.
We just want to see the evidence.
Right, that's it, we want your evidence to come on. And so maybe we craft a letter that says something along the lines of, to make the process more streamlined and to ensure that your evidence is
There you
on the
go.
portal, we would recommend that all taxing bodies, or even people represented by council, we could send it to the regular owners councils, like Nicole, Bernanke, like those kind of people, and say, use the portal, that's the best way. The other ways work, but the portal's the best way.
That's an administrative thing, it's not really.
Yeah, no, I just saw it and I wanted to throw it out there.
However, the only other recommendation that I had is under where it says at least 5 days before the hearing, in that paragraph there, we have in caps, you must provide a telephone number to participate. And then the bottom line is failure to provide a phone number in advance will not postpone the proceedings. If we can get those highlighted on there, highlight.
Or bolded, just highlight.
Yeah, well,
Because this goes out on colored paper anyway. So when this insert goes out,
right.
I believe the appeals department, and Ms. Brown's on the line, it goes out on purple or some other color. Is that correct, Ms. Brown?
Yes, and it will be lime green, so we can possibly do it in red if you'd like.
Okay.
In red print, I should say.
Yep. Okay, either that or highlight, whichever works best because of the background. That's all I have. Anybody else? Okay, moving on.
Quick question, do we have to approve the
Yeah.
appeal form?
Yes.
I was just gonna say that. All
It's
right.
one of the
With the
agenda items.
changes, right, with the changes.
With the changes as discussed. Get your motion approved with the changes as discussed.
Motion, please.
Motion that we approve the form of the appeal form for 2025 as with the changes that we discussed.
You second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Next item, Ms. Brown? I'm sorry. Ms. Baldwin. I'll get your name right one more.
Ms. Montgomery and Ms. Brown.
Chocolate.
We
I'm
are.
just kidding. But I have Anne Marie Crowley. So I've spoken with her. Mr. Silverman has spoken with her as well. I spoke with her over the phone. Her resume is also attached here with, if you wanted to take a look at that. But she has years as a sales associate. She got into depth with, process and a lot of current market analysis and all of the work she embodies with, being a sales associate over the years. So I felt that. I also asked her about computer skills, because that goes along with the position. And she felt very comfortable. She said she's worked with systems day in and day out. So I felt like she met the requirements and qualifies as a residential hearing officer and would request for the board to extend a contract to her.
And I would move that Anne Marie Crowley be approved as a residential hearing officer. So,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now it is. Next.
That's it for me.
Thank you. Moving on to the board approval list. We have actually, I don't have to scroll through, just read off the list. 5, starting with interim tax year 2022, starting with parcel ID 392J 159. Second group, interim tax year 2023, parcel ID 2007L207. Third group, tax year 2022, first parcel ID number 88E170. Next group is tax year 2023, again starting with the same parcel ID 88E170. And finally, tax year 2024, first parcel ID 392R50. Beginning with Ms. Lozano, do you have any opposed or refusal? Ms. Lara? Mr. Sully? Mr. Saint? And I have none. Have a motion, please.
Motion, we approve the board approval list as read.
Thank you. Second?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Moving on, old business. First listing, board directed to solicit regarding petition for Judge Hurt's court.
That motion's drafted, it's just getting scheduled a notice.
Okay, good, thanks. And the rules and regulations, I've never seen a final draft.
It's in our Teams folder,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's been there since you guys approved it.
With your changes. Yeah, I've seen that, you know, it's not published, and
Should be
I
on the
contacted
website.
Mr. Vargola
Yeah.
at county council. Did you send it to him?
I sent it, but I think our board administrator was to send it to county council.
Did you send it to Mr. Vargola? Okay, then that's,
I sent it,
I
I
can
sent him,
bring
I sent him an unofficial version, but I, just so
can
you,
we
so
just,
you all recall, the
Yeah.
motion was to have your board administrator send it to county, direct your board administrator to send it to county council.
okay.
That was your motion, so.
And the motion also included some changes I made. Remember that?
Yeah.
They're in there.
They're all in there.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they were, because I looked at that in Teams and I
So it is in our Teams, okay, so,
and it will be sent.
yeah, I'll send it to.
And the 2025, I would like to make some recommendations. Can we do that virtually, or I'll work with you? Good. All right. And then the last issue, I'm just going to.
Well, we
You
wanted to
did
just-
send us,
That's what I was gonna say, I saw it in here, we had an email, I think we
Yeah.
wanted to have a discussion in executive session,
yeah,
which I would also ask for
I
a
was gonna do
discussion,
that.
once we do have some personnel issues. we can
Yes.
talk about.
Okay.
If that's okay with the board.
Yes, I'm finished.
All right, finishing old business, on to new business. Is there any? Mr. Hagan, do you want to ask? Since you're here.
We will have an executive session. to discuss personnel.
All right, and as just stated, we will have an executive session.
Great, thank you.
following our regular meeting.
Thanks,
Just
Lou.
listen, let us know.
I will. I'll send you an email.
Yeah.
It's very best.
Yeah.
And on that note, we will then close today's Allegheny County Board of Public Assessment Review meeting. This is July 18th, 2024. And thank you all for attending. Have a good day.
We can put together a letter out to the taxing bodies to suggest.
Okay?
Because that's one of the delays. Because
You could have done that. I'm fine. You know what I mean?
are we
Are we
still?
on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I'll, there we go.